something for yourself. I mean, it's always not always giving. Giving is good, sharing is good. However, you could not give something that you don't have. So to be able to draw inspiration and to give that kind of healing energy to others, you should also learn to love yourself. I should also I'm personally do things to help myself in my healing so that I could minister effectively to other people.
Where you can find some insights on how to win in life, faith, and in finance. And today, we have a very special guest. She's very dear in my heart. Today, we have our inspirational segment. And the person I'm going to introduce to you, I met her through online, of course, and in one of the Speak and Inspire online training with Coach JC. So that's the first time I've met her. And from there, we become friends, even though we're far from each other. And I'm very proud of this lady. I'm very humbled to introduce her as well to you, to all of you. And of course, I'm very grateful that she said yes to share her inspiring stories and how to win in life, as well as in her faith too, in her faith journey. So without further ado, she's a member of Creators Ground and Inspirepreneur Inner Circle. She is a holistic healing advocate and agriculturist by profession, certified voice artist, and she recently launched a podcast last December of 2021 in Anchor and Spotify called the Marvilove. So without further ado, our very dear Marvilove, Marvi!
Hi everyone! Hi Sis Maricor!
Hi! Thank you for saying yes, and I'm very grateful that you're here and you are here to share your story as well. So of course, before we lead to your podcast or to your Facebook page or to your channel, let me hear a little bit story about yourself. The things that I haven't introduced you yet. Maybe you can share a story of you when you were childhood, upbringing, and then up to this day, but not too much though. So let's hear your story.
Yes, thank you Sis Marika once again for this opportunity. Indeed, I am humbled by your affirmation on how you have introduced myself. So hi once again everyone. I'm Marvi, a holistic healing advocate, an overcomer of depression and also a COVID survivor last September 2021. I'm a prayer affirmation companion and also an encourager. Recently, I have launched a podcast last year, and also I have FB page called Marvilove. It is an online healing ministry which seeks to be a vessel of love and acceptance to everyone, to remind you that you are worthy to be loved.
Oh, that's amazing that to remind everyone that you are worthy of your love, right? So, of course, going to that podcast, I know there's a story behind it, right? And just like this channel, there's a story behind this. And I remember when we're doing the Speak and Inspire online seminar, we've been tasked to do a minute video of you and yourself, right? And how will you inspire others too? And that's the reason why I have this. And of course, that Marvilove, there's a reasoning why you come up to that page or to that podcast, right? Would you mind to share those stories to all of us so we know where is it rooted or where is it coming from, right?
Yes. Marvilove originally came from Beloved merchandise, which I started years ago to hopefully make impact through a shirt using motivational phrases. However, it didn't work out well. But from Beloved Merchandise, I rebranded the page to Marvilove through the inspiration of Speak and Inspire family during the pandemic. And it the intention is really to remind everyone that there is hope, that you can be healed, to inspire others to draw closer to God and to look within themselves that indeed there is power within us. And Marvilove is also coined from marvelous, victorious, and beloved. Because I don't want to lose the word beloved, because it's really a personal for me, because beloved is really for me an inspiration from our Lord. It's like an affirmation from God that we are all beloved, from the verse of "This is my beloved son, whom I am well pleased."
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. The Marvilove. I thought it's your name. I thought it's Marvi and then Beloved.
Actually, sis, there's a trivia from the Marvilove, because a friend once called me Marvilove, but it felt like it's not me. It's like awkward for me because it's a strong word, love. I feel like I'm unworthy to be called that way. But when I reflected on it, and also a friend guided me, how would I will convey my message to others through the page, and it really somehow the spirit of within me telling me that indeed it should be called Marvilove, all about love.
So yeah, Marvilove stands for marvelous, victorious, and beloved, because you are beloved and you are worthy of love. Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, so it's not just her name, the Marvin Love combined together,
Yes.
but it is like the three things that compose of Marvilove. So that's amazing, right? And that's why you come up with that word, and that's why you come up with that program as well. So yeah, of course, if I'm gonna ask you as well,
Yes.
since you've been mentioning some inspirational like quotations or Bible verses, what can you, if for example, to somebody who's looking for some inspiration, to somebody who's been healing, or who's been hurt, or who's been broken, and just like what you felt before, you feel unworthy and not feeling not love, right? So how can you inspire those people, and do you have any like inspirational words or message to all of them listening to this segment?
Thank you for that wonderful question, Sis Maricor. I believe that that everyone go through these things, hardships, and it's really part of life. As much as we want not to go through that way, but being alive means also going through that hardships, because it is where we can learn from it, from those experiences. And for someone who goes through tough times because he or she has sickness, or going through depression, going through financial debts, you are not alone. It is really, it's hard right now. It is tough, but the problem is tough, but so are you. These problems are just, all these things shall pass, but His word His word will always remain, that the spirit of truth will always tell us within us that we are bigger than our problems. The spirit within us, I am, there's a power within us. Sometimes we might not feel that way, but there's this inner voice. If you could just listen to that small, gentle inner voice within you that telling you that you are worthy to be loved, that you are lovable, you are capable, you can do all things. These thoughts, these feelings might have come from our past wounds that just have been triggered because we have been going through tough times. But please do know that there's hope, that you can be healed, that you can be freed. There is freedom in this sickness, this deaths. You can win in life.
So yeah, it's amazing that you shared that. If even though there's a problem, whatever it is, like small, big problems, always remember that you are bigger than it. You are bigger than the problems. You are tougher than the problems. If the problems are tough, and so you are. And it's a nice reminder for all of us as well, because especially nowadays, right, that probably not happening to ourselves, but happening to the people around us, to our loved ones, to our friends, to our families. And sometimes they think that, oh, it's hard to live day by day because I have this problem, I have this financial problem, I have this relationship problem, I have this self problem, right? So and if they just put themselves in the shoes that they think about God, and there's a spirit within us that can heal us, and that can remind us that we are bigger than those problems, and our God is bigger than those problems too, right? And he can do everything. He can move mountains as well, right? So yeah, thank you for that reminder and that inspirational words and stories you want to share, right?
Yes, if I may add on some about it. I'm not that tough as you might see me. It is not an instant process. If I may also share some bits of me when I have encountered COVID with my 2 senior citizen parents last September. It also taught me to remind me that I should give myself time for healing, because healing really takes time. Please don't be too hard on yourself when you don't reach your goal for the day, when you don't achieve your dreams for your family, for yourself. Please be kinder to yourself. This is really the time. For me, COVID really taught us to be more kind, to be more kinder to ourselves, to be loving towards ourselves, because with love, with kindness, it can bear fruits. And please take this time to know yourself more, to rediscover yourself, because it's really it's helpful that you could have that sense of joy and sense of inner peace when you go through these tough times.
And and I could add up to this as well, that during the tough time, that's where you had the chance to be silent and to be quiet and just talk what you really want in life, right? And talk to God as well. What's the message for you to God? Like, and I agree with you that healing is not an overnight process. It takes time. Even for example, we got a wound from a knife or from something sharp, right? It doesn't heal right away. It still bleeds for about seconds or minutes, right? So So same thing as like ourselves when we go to through tough times. And remember, if you're listening to this, that if you feel you are in pain right now or you are broken right now, remember that as long as you are breathing, you still have hope and you still have chance to give your life or surrender your life and give your trust to God, so that later on you can heal in time too. Um and you can be an inspiration to others too. And I always remember this as well, that your mess is your message, and your pain is your story that you can share to others too, right? And I'm very grateful, Marvi, for sharing your experience. I'm so blessed that I haven't encountered yet. I haven't been positive, and I'm so blessed with that. But a lot of people, even in my household, have been positive or experienced doing that. And I know it's not easy, especially when your body is not really capable of healing right away, right? And I'm we are blessed, and I praise God. I thank God that God healed you and your family as well. And that's why you're here right now. You're sharing your story, and you're sharing that whatever happened to you, you have to fight for your life, and you have to trust the process and trust God that you will be healed too, right? So thank you for sharing that. And of course,
Thank you.
yeah, and of course, since we're talking about inspirational segment, and I know, even me, I've been so inspired with your stories and with you as well, and with the people who's listening to this segment. If we gonna ask you, who inspires you right now, or what inspires you to do more and to be an inspiration to others too?
My inspiration is um, is how the Lord blessed me, how He healed me from depression, from COVID, from this negative thoughts that indeed I can do all things. Also, eh, being inspired also means being able to learn to do something for yourself. I mean, it's always not always giving. Giving is good, sharing is good. However, you could not give something that you don't have. So to be able to draw inspiration and to give that kind of healing energy to others, you should also learn to love yourself. I should also I'm personally do things to help myself in my healing, so that I could minister effectively to other people. It's not for me, it's not only a career, but it's really more of being faithful to my purpose, to God's calling. But to be able to give that inspiration to others, I should also be loving towards myself.
That's true. We cannot give what we don't have. And that's why if we're gonna see people who's sad, they can only be sad the whole day, right? And you cannot ask them to be happy because they're feeling sad. And that's true. If you don't love yourself, how can you love others, right? If you don't forgive yourself, how will you forgive others? So it always starts with you. It always starts with how you treat yourself and how you inspire yourself to be an inspiration to others. So, and thank you for sharing that. Thank you for telling us that you yourself needs that love too. You yourself needs that worthiness from others, or worthiness towards yourself, right? So yeah, thank you so much. Before we end our segments, do you have any parting words that you want to share, parting stories that you want to share to all of us? And then after that, probably you can invite us, all of us, to journey with you and to be loved, to be beloved with you as well, with your podcast, with your angelic voice. I love hearing your voice. Honestly, I love. First time I heard your launch out, it's really a good podcast to listen. It calms your soul. It really invites your soul to pray and to be with it, to be present while you're listening that. So any parting words, and then later you can invite every one of us to.
Thank you, Sis Maricor, for your. I am humbly, I heartily, humbly accept your kind words, because I used to be that kind of that child who has low self-esteem, low self-worth. It's really that podcast really it wasn't an instant thing for me. I think it was almost a year of trying to launch it, because it was a process of embracing myself, embracing my gift, my calling. Sometimes, honestly, it was really hard for me to hear my voice, because I feel like I tend to hear the lapses, the mistakes that I had when I was recording it. And the Lord helped me through launching the podcast. It was not only to help people to be healed, but also the podcast, the ministry also helped me to be healed from those negative thoughts that I am incapable of doing anything, because I used to be that child who was always being compared to my siblings, because I was the youngest. But really, I feel like this calling, this ministry that we are doing, of Sis Maricor, opening up ourselves to you, dear friends. It's how the Lord speaks to us, and I feel like the Lord is telling you to allow yourselves to be loved. To be loved. We all have a purpose, a role in life. To be maybe a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, a student, a daughter, an office mate, a co-worker, a businesswoman. But with all these roles, we are all just called to be beloved, to allow ourselves to, we are all created to be loved and to be loved, to always love. Because in love, in all things, we could do all things through love, and love always never fails. And to end this my sharing of my story, I would like to tell you that there is always hope. There is hope through God's affirmations, through prayers, through His word, that we are all loved and capable to love. And there, so if I may share my accounts, social media accounts,
Yes,
if you
please.
want additional dose of inspiration and motivation, please do visit me, the page through FB. I am Marvilove. In IG, I am _Marvilove. You could also look on my LinkedIn profile, Marvi San Pedro. And there, and thank you once again, Sis Maricor, for the gift of you, and thank you everyone for the gift of your presence. Salamat po.
Thank you so much. And of course, don't forget to follow and subscribe to the podcast, the Marvi.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me that, Sis Maricor. Yes, also I do have a Marvilove podcast. Please do visit me, and please always remember who you are. You are marvelously loved.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, and just like what I said, if you haven't heard her voice, you're gonna hear an angelic voice whispering in your ear. So yeah, don't forget to listen, subscribe, follow, and of course, comment and give her a 5-star